Keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
I'm going to lend a hand at the exclusion zone.
Do you believe our... So many dead. Place is falling apart. If I found a way off this rock, would you... No, it's stupid.
I'd follow you anywhere.
You would? Anywhere?
Anywhere not in the path of an avalanche or a precipitous cliffside, yes. Though we await the end times, I say we do so in comfort.
I miss my sprat. How do you do, stranger? Always nice to see a friendly face around Matriarch's mercy. Though it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist. You are talking to the first prize winner at the Stuffed Ursapod Club, 2 years consecutive. But something tells me you didn't come to talk shop. What's this about, Agent? Am I in trouble? What? Me? No. Listen, friend. A little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional. Clearly, you don't suffer from imposter syndrome. Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve. The term is industry standard. And a taxidermist without standards is never a pretty sight. I used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea if she's still in business. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself. Well, in that case, happy hunting.
Algorithmic dissonance? I don't even like the sound of it. How could something...
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use...
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. Why do I suddenly feel my decision to come here with you may have been a grave error? Let's try to focus on the task at hand and not your tendencies? I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. What sort of life was this, without the Sovereign's guidance? I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. Let's hear it. I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. Did you have anything else? Very well. I shall continue to search on my own. These people could have been saved if they simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm. Yes, that's an incisor, all right.
No target.
Salutations. Has your search uncovered anything of remark? You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? Although I'm no ballistics expert, the death wounds on the corpses appear to match those inflicted by an automech. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? It's too convenient. I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? yes. That relay tower in the rear of the camp was clearly not built by the refugees, but stolen from the Protectorate, which likely means that they were Protectorate as well. The refugees must have used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. Theorized. I knew this was an ex-Protectorate encampment, but wasn't sure it was a Sentinel's doing until this moment. They operate in clandestine ways. Now with that finished, Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry.
Seems like the heat up, Commander. Just say we have nothing there.
Stragglers. To arms.
Make a cover.
Promoting teammates.
None shall stand against us. Taking punitive action. That was a hardy engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
Salutations once more.
Greetings again. Hope that little libations or information. What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. We managed to accomplish our goals. This counts for more than a little, I'd say.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. Names are nothing. I could tell you the titles of the periodicals he has stashed beneath his bunk, but I won't, unless he tries my patience.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time, when fewer prying ears abound.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
Yeah, how about this?
I recruited a Protectorate subject direct link from
Sorry,
Bastion.
loitering ain't
Middle
my
of a
crime of
Protectorate
choice.
holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking
No
your
time
hide
to
to recruit
chit-chat.
one subject?
More than a might.
Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen AC ad execs I recruited last week. We're all just...
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. Suffice it to say, for now, that I fear the true killer is within the Protectorate. Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Sub Rosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. But I neither trust them nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Incognito is approaching maximum crew capacity. Note, due to its size and weight, the hammer is included in that estimate. Acknowledged. Please be advised that, statistically speaking, you are more likely to perish at an Arbiter's hands if you are alone. Goodbye.
Let us be off, Commander.
Let's see how well you Arbiters know basic history. Who constructed the archive?
The matriarch did, of course. Who else could oversee the creation of such an immense, complex piece of machinery?
Inaccurate. It was Presiding Bishop Audley, the first presiding bishop. The matriarch gave permission, but he's the one who oversaw its actual construction.
I knew that. This is the problem with you mathematical sycophants. There's always some technicality that conveniently proves you right.
Oh, thank you for agreeing I was proven right, Rao. How magnanimous of you.
That scum. That miserable scum. To think he would stoop so low as to overthrow the sovereign. I shall not rest until the consul pays for his treachery, and Arcadia's rightful ruler is reinstated. I'm pleased to hear you hunger for justice. We shall certainly have no shortage of circumstances to slake your hunger. I fear how my fellow subjects will respond to this news. I believe that most will remain loyal to the Sovereign, but I will need to deal with those who strayed. I hope that is true, though I do appreciate the vote of confidence. I sincerely doubt this is the end of my thoughts related to the matter, but we've wasted enough time with my ruminating. Let us be off.
shall ever return to Abertarary.
Since the schism, the Protectorate have
Oh, I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. They should have been sealed in that room to focus on their studies uninterrupted. No one in or out. I'd suspect the missing anchorite knows something, at least. We should ask her. Might be some signs in there of where she went. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloister-mate Anchor's run has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the laureate council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchor's Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth, who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. That they'd mentioned an old order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden, place by the name of Point Obviation. I don't know what happened to Anchor's Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious, and the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. Diverting problematic events. We learned how to best respond once things begin to spread. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Fair enough. I understand we're juggling multiple crises.
calculating the position of every atom in time.
I'm going to lend a hand at the exclusion center. Tend to the injuries.
Commander, a moment. Commander, I'm glad I managed to intercept you before we left. There's something of utmost importance I wish to discuss. Relax, Commander. You are not under my authority to judge. Though if you were, that phrase alone would have certainly seen you hauled off to mental refreshment. I received a message from a close friend of mine, Virgil. He was my co-protege under the Supreme Arbiter. His message claimed he had information relevant to the Supreme Arbiter's death. He wishes to meet with me at the Vox Relay on Paradise Island. You asked before, and I did not mention it. But with Virgil's message, I now must warn you. Our greatest suspect in the Supreme Arbiter's murder is the Protectorate's consul. I suspect you refer to the relay's recent launch. Virgil likely expects to meet with us at the base of the facility. It does seem a strange place to have a reunion, but I trust Virgil has his reasons. I doubt they've anything to do with the perfidy that recently occurred there. If there is one person throughout all of Arcadia who I can presently trust, it is Virgil. He too seeks the perpetrator of the Supreme Arbiter's death, and he too supports the Sovereign over all else. And that's without mentioning our lifelong friendship. Ha! I sincerely expect not. Much like myself, Virgil has been trained differently from the average Arbiter. His approach differs even from my own. Virgil often prefers to watch rather than act, and was often lenient with sentencing where I was not. This behavior was often criticized by the Supreme Arbiter, but there have been occasional rare instances where treating a subject with mercy ultimately resulted in better behavior. It is a novel, albeit strange, philosophy. The onset of war has tested my previously held notions most thoroughly, but an Arbiter holds to their values. I believe Virgil feels the same. Whatever the case, Virgil awaits us on Paradise Island, Commander. I hope we shall find time to go there.
Halt! Abide. Cease any and all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The Endpoint?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Ancrus Brunn straight away.
We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Assuming you'll vouchsafe for your colleagues, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Ancrus Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
Cow, there's greater security and alertness than most Order strongholds. We'd best be wary.
Look, everyone! It's the endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
I am a longtime vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor. I hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
Doubt the Anchoress will walk away from the research lightly. May require some aggressive convincing.
Oh, who's this? Oh, yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchoress Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand you allowed Seer Wiley to go free, yes? Once was a time I would have made that exact same decision. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime.
one of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the anchor hold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Sir Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Tut-tut, a mind like that is never out of practice. And the experiment she's overseeing, why, she's orchestrating it masterfully. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting. How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work. I'll press them to verify my settings. Thereupon we will... Head Intercessor Delgado. What an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way. The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful. So I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. I, for one, am certain. Even if I wasn't, now is not the time to dally. Sooner you start, sooner this will be finished. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the second floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
ascendancy is non-linear. So it says in the good text.
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Ascendancy. So it says in the good textbook.
Better investigate.
Is something wrong back there? Hello?
Gathering heuristics. Investigating disturbance. Terminating unproductive activity. E and Q were true. Or Q is true. A simple truth table for turbulent times. Path to ascendancy is non-linear, so it says. It's Fibonacci.
If you're done, void the oxygen on the terminal and the experiment will begin. It worked.
Was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun. But she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good.
Funny you should say that.
There's a wealth of well-proven data to verify haphazard murder being a profoundly bad idea. Deploying a logic bomb inside a reasoned argument is demonstrably more effective. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
Dishonorable skullduggery better befits Auntie's choice than the Order. If we must end this experiment, killing is the most respectable option.
I'm not arguing it's the best option, just that it is an option. Rightly or wrongly, I am familiar with the cost involved.
The Order of the Ascendant should be dedicated to uplifting humanity, not racking up a body count unduly. Our former department was shut down for things like this. Success isn't guaranteed. A fair degree of cleverness is required. But you would have the help of someone reasonably intellectually nimble.
I would be willing and on hand to assist, and the other option would remain if we botch it.
Thank you for listening. That's a relief.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. How about Executioner Emeritus?
This isn't my, Marisol the Menacious?
Oh, I like that one.
All right now, all right. We should go.
But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchorus is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchorus to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchoress realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, hmm? Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. Some issues. You seem like softening the blow. Was there a malfunction? Was there some error in the calculations? Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Really? In what way? Did Seer Bujold fail to explain? Using her theorem, we can map the position and path of every atom in a simulated universe, then extrapolate that to solve the equation. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom.
Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch. If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Sir Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do? Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. Everything seemed within acceptable parameters. No discernible variance. So why did it fail? Oh, come now. One bad test doesn't mean the science is completely flawed, does it? Ah, the experiment date. Everything seemed within acceptable parameters. Oh, come now. One...
I'll meet you out on the landing pad once this is done.
Indelibly eradicate algorithmic dissonance. -2. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, do-do-do. One, 2, 3, 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. All solutions precede problems. Sequence large summon to receiving numbers gives us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abachi. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, do-do-do. Path to ascendancy is gone. So it says.